Here is something scientists actually did. They took a recording of a spoken sentence, cut one sound clean out of the middle of a word, and pasted a cough over the whole. Then they played it to people and asked what they heard. Every single one heard the missing sound perfectly. Not one of them could even say where the cough had landed, which tells you something a little unsettling about what your brain is doing right now as you follow me. And it is the exact same thing that quietly falls apart the moment you try to follow a language you are still learning. By the end of this video, you will know the real reason native speakers feel impossible to keep up with. It is not what everyone thinks, and it is not speed. On the way, you will watch a baby crack a language it has never heard in 2 minutes flat. Find out why there are no gaps between spoken words, and meet the illusion that makes every learner blame the wrong thing. Because you have felt this. Something you can read just fine on paper turns out loud into one long, unbroken blur. And the obvious suspect, the one you have already convicted, is that these people are simply talking too fast. Hold that thought. We are about to let it go free. First, be fair to the suspect, because the feeling is completely real. You are in the country, you are ready. Someone answers your simple question, and it arrives with a wall of noise with no handholds. You caught maybe 3 words. They were not being rude. They were talking to you the way they talk to everyone. And your only explanation, the one that protects your ego, is that these people are machine guns. Almost everyone lands there. It even has a name in the research, the gabbling foreigner illusion. And that name is a clue, because look hard at the word sitting in the middle of it, illusion. So let us go and actually measure the thing you are so sure of. Scientists have timed this carefully. They take native and foreign sentences, match them to the exact same speaking rate, and play them to listeners. The listeners still clock the foreign one as faster. In matched recordings, the gap runs around 8%. Same speed on the meter, different speed in the head. It gets worse for the speed theory. Compare whole languages, and the ones that fire out more syllables per second turn out to pack less meaning into each one. Some languages run fast and light, others run slow and dense. Added up, and the amount of actual information crossing per second barely changes. The fast languages are not saying more, they are just using more, lighter pieces. So speed is real as a feeling and fake as a cause. And here is the detail that convicts it. The better someone understands a language, the slower that same language sounds to them. Nothing changed in the air. The speech did not slow down. The listener did. Which means the wall was never made of speed. So what is it made of? Here is the fact almost no one teaches you, and it is the whole game. Between the words in a spoken sentence, there is no silence. None. Look at the sound wave of any sentence in any language, and it is one continuous smear. The neat little gaps you are certain you hear between words in your own language are not in the sound at all. Your brain draws them. It hands you a tidy row of separated words the way a subtitle track would, and it does it so smoothly that you have spent your whole life sure the spaces were really out there. They are not out there. Speech is a stream with no seams. Your first language only feels chopped into words because you already own the scissors. So the real question was never why they talk fast. It is this: when there are no gaps, how does anyone find where one word ends and the next begins? In 1996, researchers at the University of Rochester went looking for the answer in the people who solved this problem completely from scratch: babies. They played 8-month-old babies of made-up language. Just a smooth run of nonsense syllables. No pauses, no meaning, no help of any kind. 2 minutes later, the babies could tell the real words of that invented language from fake ones. Words they had never once heard marked off by a silence because there were none. They were doing statistics. Their brains were tracking which syllables kept turning up together and quietly deciding those ones travel as a pack. That is a word. That is the machine that cut your first language into pieces. It runs on nothing but sound and repetition. It never gets tired. And here is the good news. You still have it. But look at what it needs. Data. In your first language, it drank thousands of hours before you turned 5. In your new one, it has had what? A handful of playlists? So it has not built the scissors yet, and the stream stays a single blur. All the research you see in these videos, we took the best of it and put it in one app. And it does a lot more than just block your scroll. Shadowing, speaking back, a story a week at your level, backed by the science, keeping you honest. Okay, back to why you cannot keep up. Now come back to that cough, because this is where the real reason finally shows its face. The reason every listener heard a sound that was physically not there is that they were not, strictly speaking, listening. They were predicting. In 1970, Richard Warren showed that your brain does not patiently receive each sound and then identify it. It guesses what is coming next and fills the gaps so fast and so seamlessly that the guess feels exactly like hearing. That is what understanding your own language really is. Not clean reception. Confident, constant, mostly correct guessing. And native speakers lean on that guessing hard because they are not doing you any favors with their mouths. In fast, normal speech, they crush words together, swallow whole sounds, and glue the leftovers into new shapes. Going to becomes gonna. Did you becomes didya. Whole syllables simply vanish. A native handles that mangled, gap-free, half-deleted stream easily for one single reason. Their predictions are loaded. Yours are not. So here it is. The real reason you cannot understand native speakers yet is not that they are fast. It is that you cannot find the word boundaries because you do not own enough words to draw them. And you cannot guess the missing sounds because your brain has nothing loaded to guess with. It is not a wall of speed. It is a stream with no seams and no map. One sound you cannot predict, and the whole sentence caves in, which finally tells you the one thing that does not work, asking them to slow down. They cannot slow the illusion, and even genuinely slower speech does not hand your machine a single new word or load a single new guess. It just makes the same blur last longer. The one thing that dissolves the wall is feeding the machine. Hours of speech you can almost follow, so it can run its statistics and load its predictions, one real word at a time. Because every word you truly own becomes two things at once. A place your brain is finally allowed to cut, and a place it is finally able to guess. The blur does not lift all at once. It lifts one word at a time. The people who seem to have a magic ear for languages did not skip this. They just fed the machine longer than you have, until the stream quietly fell into words. Which leaves one last crack in the story. I told you your brain guesses the sounds it does not catch. But some of those sounds are worse than uncaught. In a new language, there are sounds your brain is not straining to hear. It physically cannot hear them because it deleted them on purpose before your first birthday. That is next time.